Since it has been a month since Nintendo's release of Mario Kart World, and Donkey Kong is right around the corner, many gamers aren't touching as much grass as they used to. People have been finding shortcuts, rumors about Nintendo's directs, and haven't been spending their summer outside as much as they used to. So why don't we take this into account and try not touching the ground in every Mario Kart World track? The rules are simple. Number 1, I can't touch the main road. It's pretty simple. And it must be clear that's the main road, so water doesn't really count as main road, right? Because it's water in the ocean. And it must be like concrete or something like materialized, like concrete material, like metal. Number 2, I can use rails and wall grinding mechanics to get around the main road. And like other shortcuts or other like parts that differ from the main road. 3, I have a 5-second timer to get onto an alternate route of the course, and I can be flexible, but it's like 6 seconds, 5.01 seconds, and finally, if I'm on a path to victory, I cannot get off it. So let's get started with Mario Kart Circuit, or Mario Bros Circuit. So this one's a toughie. You obviously know that you can hit this rail right here, like with a mushroom boost. But then after that, you get on it, you leave off into the road, or so I thought. This road right here that leads off right after the road isn't the same color as the main tannish kind of road we see here, but beside it. Like the kind of sandy road we all used to know from Mario Bros. Circuit. And so we can easily get into the next big rail grind right here. We can grind this rail all the way to victory, as they say. They don't say that. And well, after that rail, yeah, you're kind of dead. After the rail, you just fall off into the main road. You can't really do anything about it. Even if you do grind on the wall, you still fall on the ground. So this track is busted. Mario Bros. Circuit is busted. On to one of my favorite tracks, Crown City. I love this track, even though it's only because of the soundtrack. That's some pretty nice music to my ears. But even if it is one of my favorites, you can't really go too far on this track. It's a city after all, and you know cities have like roads, turns, roads, yeah. Even if it took me 10 seconds to find a rail to get on, it still left me in the dust. Even when doing whatever this is, I still had to admit, I cannot ride this highway all night long. Which brings me to Whistle Stop Summit, where this video started to lighten up in the filming. There are rails everywhere, and when I was scrolling through YouTube Shorts one time, I saw a guy go on Whistle Stop Summit and going on only the rails. And so I was like, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So yeah, there are rails everywhere. It was easy grinding on this rail, then that rail, then do whatever this is. And then they go this crazy shortcut that took me like 5 minutes or 3 minutes to do. So yes, Whistle Stop Summit is possible. You just need to get back on the first rail after the shortcut. That takes like hours to do. And after this track, I felt hope. Hope that I could make it through the next few tracks, or like possibly all the tracks, while not going onto the main road. Hope that, oh yeah, by the way, DK Spaceport, we don't talk about that one because it's literally impossible. You just go into the track, it's like, yeah, no, we don't talk about that one. And so on to the next one, Desert Hills. You see, you can immediately get onto the water and trick off the ramp and grind the wall, but you get right back onto the main road. And let me tell you, the main road is sand. And sand is rocks, and rocks aren't the main road, so this is possible. the main road of sand courses are possible. All I have to do now is look if concrete is rocks, if concrete is made out of rocks, and oh, it's made out of rocks. So, sand cannot be done. Now, it's not possible. Sand, I thought it could have been not road because, you know, it's kind of like the same thing as off-road, but no. Desert hills is, no, it's not possible. Yeah. So, Shy Guy Bazaar is next. You know, we're going to do all of the shortcuts, like, you know. So we go onto this rail and do one of those like wall fall things where after we jump all over the rail, wall fall thing, grind to the next rail, and we're gonna make it on the side, jump on the rail, grind on the wall, and then touch the wood, which isn't the main road. Main road is stone or whatever that brick like thing is. And then we go into the glider, only to be held up by the end of the main road. No way around it. So Shy Guy Bazaar isn't as shy now because it's busted, and what am I even saying? And on to Wario Stadium, where I do every shortcut again. And the main road is the sand, like the sand right there. So when I'm touching metal, it doesn't count as the main road. It counts as an alternate path. Okie dokie. And still, the end will held up by a small gap of sand. And if we even jump onto that pink stuff here, like the pink ground stuff there, yeah, there's no way around it. And I can probably get there, but I need to get good at the game. And, you know, I'm really bad at the game. Hello, this is the Nintendo help service line. How may we help you? Yeah, how do I get good at the game? Yeah, so after that quick call right there, yeah, we're on to the next course, because there's sand right over there, at the end of the track. So we don't talk about that. Airship Fortress is a fun one. Other than grinding on this rail to start, tricking off it, landing on the next one, I have no idea what to do. I swerve and I curve, but nothing happens. And I go right off into the main road after the rail. And also I just fall and Latiku like picks me up and I try to do a weird maneuver thing, but still. Nevertheless, it does not work at all. So, that was a short one. On to Bowser's Castle, which is also short. You do the big gap jump, which I've shown off into my short. You should really subscribe to the channel if you want to see that short. And look at my shorts tab, you know? Okay, never mind. And it's also, you go onto the main road, like right after the big gap jump shortcut, you go onto the main road. So that's another fast one. So hopefully Dry Bones Burnout is better. Which it is at the beginning. You go onto the bone real quick. So it's like, I probably get there in time. Even though it's like a little more than 6 seconds, I still get on the bone. So I'm going to let that slide. And once you go on the bone, there's a huge glider ramp right here. And even though you could, technically after the glider ramp, go onto this rail, and then that rail, then go onto the bone again, and then do that really cool like lava shortcut with the mushroom, you still are touching the ground at the end. And we want to try to get around that ground. So, if you go onto the alternate path, the right side, which is slower, you can go all the way throughout the rails without touching the bone, but you can also touch the bone if you want. And you can go onto another glider, which takes you all the way back onto another bone, which is Bootentog, because it is another one that you can not touch the main road. It's pretty good. So, that's another one. Another ramp to victory. Yay! So hopefully, the hope of the hopeful ride is hopeful. Many hopes in that sentence. Getting sentenced. I have no idea what I'm saying. So let's move on to Toad's Factory is the best Mario Kart track and no one will ever tell me otherwise. And okay, getting past that, It's decently possible due to the jump we can make here and go into the arrow movie thingies that move you up or down, and you can try to get past them. You go into these rails and then go on this rail, and then ooh, we did that weird stuff right there, and go onto this rail, jump onto the movie things again, and oh yeah, we just hit that road at the swerve curve turn right there. So yeah, that one's another bust. Sorry, Toad. So yeah, later, Toad. Next is Choco Mountain, which was very delicious. Sorry, just had dessert. What? Yeah, it's literally not possible due to like it being main road for the first whole thing of the track. So yeah, let's move on to Koopa Troopa Beach. And yeah, this makes sense because they're so far apart. I don't even know why I went to Choco Mountain to Koopa Troopa Beach, but okay. This one is another one. We win. We win this one 100%. Since the music is great again, and the water is not main road, we can just drive on the water all throughout the track, because water's on the outside and the sand is on the inside, and if sand wasn't the main road, we could have still won either way. But it is this time, so the water isn't main road. So we win again, because Koopa Troopa Beach makes sense. And water is in the main road, right, Mario? Yeah, wow. That's right, Mario. So, we don't touch the main road here. Another W for me. Next up, Peach Stadium. Yeah, no, this place isn't gonna let me fly away from the road. And, yeah, no, this place isn't the right place for me to fly away. And it's another death trap. So, on to another escapable death trap. An escapable death trap. Moo Moo Meadows. What do you expect? It's Moo Moo Meadows. It's a meadow. Grassy fields of cows. This isn't what comes to mind when you think of Mario Kart. It's just main road, like the dirt. So yeah, this one isn't right. And hopefully Mario's Circuit is better. Now don't get this mixed up with Mario Bros Circuit. Mario Circuit is totally the same thing. It's totally different. It actually is totally different. And so, don't get them confused. Even though this one came out the SNES, it still has no cool improvements. No rails, no shortcuts, only main road. So, hopefully Acorn Heights has a different story. At the beginning, we take this turn right here and go right onto the wall. And as we go into the wall, we jump right onto the rail, ride the rail smooth into the sunset by gliding off of the glider. And then we do this really cool shortcut right here. But then, after we do the mushroom shortcut, you know, we just hit the off-road, or main road as we say in this books, because off-road is the main road, because we don't want to touch it. And so, we hit that. If it wasn't main road, then we would win, because we can just jump through here, take a mushroom out of this mushroom gap, and make it. But that little patch of main road makes us unescapable from death. We would win this track, but alas, we fall into the road. Hopefully, Boo Cinema, which hopefully has some cinema. Which, yeah, we don't talk about Boo Cinema, because it's lack of shortcuts. And onto Rosalina's Wonderful Castle is Starview Peak. The castle? Starview Peak is another place not to win, since we drive immediately onto this rail and immediately get booted off into the course. And I have to drive, I tell you. Drive to the next rail. Why, Nintendo? Why? It's an $80 game and you make us drive to the next rail? Unacceptable. And I was already getting tired after filming this, but this is just unacceptable, Nintendo. But on to Sky High Sunday, where we can hopefully drive on more rails. Anyone else think of ice cream while playing this track? No? Just me? Okay. Well, you know what I really think of this track? Main road. Because, you see, you know how many people like Shortcat and anyone else who finds shortcuts in Mario Kart World? Well, there aren't enough for Sky High Sunday, which is a shame because in my situation right now, in my obsession of not touching grass, I'm just gonna have to touch the main road. And it's an unescapable death again. Well, yeah, this track is a no-go. And this is the same with DK Pass because of its secret tunnel right in front of us. And maybe it's also a secret, but its shortcuts aren't, because how am I supposed to not touch snow here, Miyamoto? How? Dandelion Depths Janelian? Dandelion? Which one is it? I have no idea. Whatever, it doesn't make a difference. Because you still touch ground the whole beginning of the track. And yeah, so maybe Cheap Falls? The whole Stars Main Road? No. Far Away Oasis? No. No, end is Main Road only. Dino Jungle? Well, actually, this one's close. I got into the rail here and got into the dino, which had me go all the way to this next dino. I jumped off it, took the long way against the path, but then at the end, it's just Main Road. So, yeah. I go the metal lift up, but yeah, it's a lost cause. Great Question Block Ruins was next, and I was surprised and disappointed to see that you lose. I was surprised and disappointed to see that once you lose the rail, you're on solid ground, or island ground, or whatever it is. It's still ground. Or is it? The science behind it is true by saying that ground is implied as a thing attached to the Earth, which makes for the quantum entangled particles to absorb, and yeah, I have absolutely no idea what I'm saying, and it's still ground. So on to Peach Beach. Peach? Peter Piper picked a pack of peppers. Where you go into the water, and then you go on back to main roads. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Go on water and go onto main road. Monkey noise. Salty Speedway was cool though. Other than touching ground here, you can still make it without touching the ground for the rest of the course. I'll call this a win in my books because the video is already way too long. And like Salty Speedway, Wario Shipyard was the same. Touching ground here, but making it through the whole course. I didn't know why Wario laughed in the cave though. It's cool nevertheless. But I still end up short at the end with not another win because I hit the ground and no, we're not supposed to touch the main road. So, Wario Shipyard, not good. Sad times. We're almost done, folks. We just need to do last one, Rainbow Road. And we just need to do Rainbow Road last. And boy, I tell ya, a rainbow isn't a road. A race road from Rainbow Road. Even though we can drive on it, we don't fall off it. It's still not a road. If this is the case, Dog G, then why don't we just call this an easy win? Well, I'll tell you, little fellow, that you'll be wrong, slaps him. This is the part where obviously a road, of course, because at the end of this, we just see a road. Yeah, road. Why is there a road in Rainbow Road? I have no idea. Well, it's probably a course. Never mind. Well, speaking of roads and courses, we're all out of them. The only courses we cannot drive on, we cannot drive in the main road, is Whistle Stop Summit, Koopa Troopa Beach, and Salty Speedway. Not too many, but still a good few amount if you don't want to touch some road or grass. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, please. Thank you. And I guess I'll see you later. Goodbye. See you later. Bloopers. Wario. Yay. Why is Toad saying Wario? I have no idea. And take a different path in life. What am I saying? Take a different path in life to its unescapable defeat for moi. I'm not putting that in. Okay, I'm gonna redo that. That's really bad. Great Question Mark Lewins Lewins. Van Lewins. Open now.